The tractor is an indispensable piece of farm machinery. Over 80,000 wheel tractors are being used in the country. Farmers using them every day drive them over all sorts of country and too often forget how dangerous they can be. Their greatest hazard is how easily they can capsize on uneven ground. Most deaths are caused by the tractor rolling on the driver. Last year, 77 people lost their lives in farming accidents, and the greatest single cause was tractors. Recently in Auckland, a new safety frame was demonstrated, first with the tractor being driven by remote control. Made of tubular steel piping, the frame supports the weight of the tractor and allows the driver to escape after a capsize. On each corner are spikes to decrease the risk of rolling. Built to a design tested by the British National Institute of Agricultural Engineering, it seems to be the answer to cutting down tractor accidents. With a lap seat belt on, the demonstrator has the test tractor gingerly pulled over. It's quite safe, but no use taking risks. Without the cab, he would have been crushed. It's been proved it's virtually impossible to jump clear of a rolling tractor. Sponge rubber on the cab roof minimizes head injuries. These cabs will not stop accidents. Drivers must always take care. But if they do get in a jam, this safety cab will give them a chance of survival. "80 years ago, a lighthouse was set up to mark the dangerous sandbars of the Kaipara Harbour. Today, the same light operates indoors at Seaview, Wellington, in the Marine Department's School of Instruction. A refresher course enables head lighthouse keepers to meet their colleagues from other parts of the New Zealand coast. Peter Taylor of Nugget Point goes aloft with John Jepson of Stevens Island to inspect the wonderful handmade optics of this giant veteran. There are 24 manned lighthouses in operation today. After 80 years' valuable service, the huge clockwork motor to revolve the light is still in perfect order. Rate of rotation is governed by the vanes of an air brake. A lighthouse keeper's skills are many and varied. Work as postmaster and as storeman, for example, leads to a number of questions for the lecturers. There's sailor and signalman, of course, but also many other and less obvious talents, ranging from gas beacon maintenance man to practical meteorologist. If there are sheep around his station, a keeper needs to be expert in fence building. If there are none to keep the grass down, he may have to repair the motor mower. And if the lighthouse power plant fails, he must immediately know where to put his finger on the trouble. An old hand at running lighthouses, Mr. E.D. Miller operates the spare lamp changer with Jeff Harris from Cuvier Island. The old machine will be centre of further courses. Marine Department Staff Training Officer G.E. Ricketts is bringing all principal lighthouse keepers, 8 at a time, to refresh their skills round the indoor light at Seaview. The light that first flashed out over the Kaipara Harbour sandbars back in 1884. "12 miles from Queenstown is Coronet Peak, popular skiing ground for all Otago and Southland. A new restaurant has just opened this winter. Also in operation is the new chairlift. With these acquisitions, this field is now the best equipped in the South Island. chairlift whisks up skiers at the rate of 800 per hour and takes them 1,500 feet to the top of the peak. After the arm strain of the rope tow, this is luxury climbing. The snow was late this year, but when it came, the fall was heavy, and with all the slopes well plastered, the chairlift is giving the service skiers have long looked forward to. AT CORONET Peak is the Swiss national ski team, whose visit is sponsored by the New Zealand Ski Council. The council decided that bringing the Swiss would do more to improve New Zealand skiing than sending a team to Europe. All world-class skiers the Swiss will race against and train local skiers at 5 different ski fields in the country. The first clash of the tour is the slalom of the South Island Championships. It's a tricky course with 48 gates on reasonably good snow. "21-year-old Stefan Carlin, Swiss Alpine champion this year, zipped through the course in 78.2 seconds for 2 runs and was first equal with teammate Willy Favre, who turned in the fastest run of the day. Jos Minch, 4th in the downhill at the Olympics, is the most famous skier in the team and was 3rd, 2 seconds behind the winner over 2 runs. Local skier Peter Hubrick ran exceedingly well and was the fastest New Zealand competitor with a total time of only 16 seconds behind the Swiss. The challenge of racing against some of the world's best will certainly improve competitive skiing in New Zealand. It's hoped that it will become good enough to send a team to the World Championships in Chile in 1966.